prioritizing COVID-19 supplies for organizations on the front line. So if you're in the protective apparel, infection prevention, or any of these categories that are listed along the bottom, these are areas where they're limiting who can purchase them. In addition to limiting who can purchase them, they are also suppressing products. We've mentioned previously that Amazon's suppressing products that can be flagged as being prohibited, which is in some ways a very good thing, that Amazon's enforcing safety certifications and ensuring that people are getting the product that they're buying. This is something that the COVID-19 has made more and more apparent, and Amazon is increasingly flagging items. In the process of flagging items and then suppressing them, they typically suppress them first when an item gets flagged or caught by a keyword, and that can take products down from the site commonly. Amazon is taking a lot of products down and not necessarily realizing that those products shouldn't be. So we have a tool that we'll mention later in the presentation that we've realized compliance notifications are increasing and suppressing products, as are virus claim policy issues. So we've come up with a way to make sure that we're highlighting those to our clients, so that you know when your products are suppressed by any of these things that may happen. Amazon's taking care of its own employees as well to make sure that they are taken care of as they're handling millions and millions of packages. They've distributed over several millions of masks to their employees. They also mentioned that they're building a lab. It's so important to them that they want to build testing capabilities. So they're investing money to build testing capabilities to test every employee at Amazon. They've literally pulled in people across the company to do this. They are also deploying thermal cameras at their warehouses to scan for fevers faster. So if you can imagine, just instead of having to scan somebody's forehead, you can walk in the door and they can scan and throughout the day in case fevers are occurring. But despite these efforts, Business Insider reported today that over 300 people pledged to not go to work, and hundreds potentially will call in sick. So what this means is that there may be disruptions in operations, such as purchase order deliveries or other operations that Amazon's having to try to anticipate and react to in real time. Internationally, they're also having some challenges in terms of employees and the court system actually in France being concerned about safety issues at work. So Amazon was ordered to limit French trade to essential products. And Amazon didn't have a really good definition of what an essential product was, so they didn't want to be fined, and they actually shut their warehouses down in France. So if you have businesses internationally, they could be impacted somewhat. Amazon extended the closure. Amazon just suspended and halted the activity at those warehouses so that they wouldn't be in violation at all. And they will have extended that until after April 22nd now. Now, if you do have international products, they're still going to be delivered through dropship and through other European FCs, though.
As Al mentioned earlier, we are seeing the surge purchase order starting to drop down to actually reflect customer sales. So if your customer sales are extremely high, then we would expect the POs that you're receiving to mimic those, and those will continue to be higher than normal levels. But from what we've seen on a lot of the clients that we work with, the POs were even higher than what the surging consumer sales were, and now those POs are starting to go down a little bit here and go back to normal levels. The reason why Amazon seems to be doing this is they're opening up their warehouses now to 3P again and letting them ship inventory in once more. And then they're also opening up more categories, and so they're trying to make room for those newer POs and things that have started to run out of stock to come back into the warehouses. As we said before, if you do have dropship, make sure that you're trying to use dropship. If you haven't set that up, we, again, highly encourage you to do that. One of the reasons Born to Run is still closed to all vendors for Amazon, they did open it up slightly. They actually open it up if you've got household staples. It's down there at the bottom. Household staples, medical supplies, and other high-demand items, you can contact Amazon through vendor support, or you can have your account manager contact them if you work with us. See if your products do apply for that and try and get Born to Run turned back on for you. If you do that, then that's a way to get the products that are either out of stock or the products that are new to get back into the warehouses. But again, if you're not able to get that turned back on, or we're not able to get that turned back on to you, dropship is the next best option. We have seen that products, if you're launching new products at this point in time anyway, If you have dropship turned on, you're getting sales through dropship, Amazon will start to order that on PO just like normal. Also for Born to Run, if you had products that were going to start to run through that sell-through end date between March and April 1st, March and April 16th, Amazon is waiving some of the fees there. They're waiving the retention fees or the shipping and handling charges if they're returning the inventory to you. And then if you had a sell-through period falling between April 17th and June 15th, they are now extending that sell-through period for 70 days for you to sell through that inventory. In terms of chargebacks, we're still seeing everything that's going to end here at the end of the month. So as of right now, Amazon has not extended any chargebacks. Everything's going to the on-time non-compliance and the SIOC waivers that we've seen. They will stop here on May 1st. The SIOC waivers also have been limited to only baby, beauty, grocery, and health and personal care categories right now. And then with the expiration date, which was going to be a new chargeback that was originally scheduled to launch back in March, Amazon has pushed that out. So you're still seeing a soft launch. And right now that's not going to launch until April 30th. The expiration date, if you don't know what that is, please talk to your account manager. But that does deal with the expiration date that's going to be on your ASNs. In terms of RBS, we're still seeing some fairly slow responses from RBS. They're getting better and getting faster, but they're still not up to speed to where they were before the pandemic. If you need really quick responses, again, we would tell you to open up another case. Your account manager should be doing this for you if you're working with us. Another thing, too, is if you're opening cases late at night or on weekends, we do normally see them get a little bit quicker responses than normal. We're still seeing catalog issues. It's not as bad as when the pandemic first started. But we're still seeing suppressed pages. We're seeing costs go missing every now and then, along with weights and titles being updated. So again, make sure you're monitoring that. Or if you're working with us, we do have tools in place to try and help with that. Retail teams and RBS are still being tasked with supporting COVID-19 projects, so that's one of the reasons why they're so much slower here. And then we're still seeing off-cycle POs and manual POs being issued. Those POs, so far, we still haven't seen anything go past the end of May. So it looks like Amazon is planning on everything to be reopened or at least back to normal in terms of Amazon by the end here of May, at least. Based upon that, still we would encourage you to do forecasting. So if you're working with us, you should have received new forecasts by now. If you haven't received them, please talk to your account manager. They can try and come up with a forecast for you. But based upon that, we would expect sales here within the May timeframe to start to go back to normal in terms of your POs. Again, that is going to match your consumer demand, but we expect that to start returning to a normal level. And then by June, it should go back to just lining up with your consumer sales, assuming everything does go back to normal like planned. Another thing that we're seeing on the detail pages, so if you've got products that are considered in the essential category, so like the food staples, this right here is a type of drink product. It's a freezer pop. This product right here has a fast track delivery message on it. So we are seeing on the essential products where Amazon's still giving you the fast track messaging saying it's going to be delivered on at this time. If you're not in a fast track one, or sorry, if you're not in an essential product category, you're going to start seeing messages here like the extended delivery times. Yeah, so you're going to start seeing something like this right here, which is an extended delivery time due to COVID-19. We're currently prioritizing delivery of items our customers need most. We will ship this item as soon as we can and email you a confirmation when it ships. So we're still seeing this on products that are not considered essential. If you believe your products are essential, or you're seeing this on products that should be, like food products as a good example, please let us know, and we're going to take it to try and get that removed because it is slowing the ship time to the consumer. In terms of advertising, so I got something down there at the bottom actually that Google released today about 4 hours ago or so. But Google has actually dropped charges on shopping services to counter Amazon's surging ad sales. So as Al mentioned earlier, Amazon has been decreased the amount of money that they were spending for associates. They've also been pulling back. I mean, when we worked at Amazon, they pulled back on spending to Google. They've been spending that back even more and more now, especially with all the increased traffic that they're seeing here. Goes to show that if you have the budget to be running AMS, Amazon advertising, we highly recommend that you do that. We are starting to see competitors start to pop back on there, but we're still seeing high traffic. So we're seeing high ROI and then low ACOGs. Just as a result of everybody that's being on the platform right now and the fact that a lot of people have dropped off. Again, we are starting to see people come back though, so consider running AMS if you've got it or starting it back up again, even if it's very low spend. Something else to consider is that we've actually seen some pretty decent results using some terms that are specific to the pandemic, such as emergency food. So start considering that, adding that into your search terms if you're not doing so already. If you are doing AMS though, If you're working with us, we should be giving you or telling you if you're out of stock on products. But again, make sure that you are turning off your AMS on any products that do have low inventory or that are out of stock. If you have dropship to back that up, you could expect a little bit worse results just because it's a longer ship message, but you at least got the inventory to satisfy that consumer demand. Vine is still suspended. There's no word on when that's going to go back again, but we would expect it to come back on at the end of May here at the latest, just based upon how everything is going and the fact Amazon's starting to return to normal for purchase orders, because it was suspended just because they couldn't keep up with all that inbound. Vine was adding to that. Another thing that you can start doing, just because a lot of the other marketing or promotional activities are shut down, Amazon now has Amazon Post that's currently in beta, but it is working there. I've actually got 2 examples here at the bottom for some clients that we do work with. Amazon Post, if you're working with us, we can help you set that up. But if you're not working with us, what Amazon Post does is it increases your exposure. Basically, it has a lifestyle image there. You can have a little bit of text, and you can link it directly to a single ASIN. It's currently free, so it's a good time to take advantage of that as Amazon's seeing this higher traffic. And it's going to link consumers directly to the detail pages, and it's going to give you the metrics for it, such as impressions, clicks, and your click-through rate percentage. The Gold Box page, that's still removed from Amazon.com. Promotions, most of the self-service ones and even the vendor ones, such as Deal the Days, they are still stopped right now. There's been no update on when Amazon's going to resume that. We believe that it's going to start happening probably in May. What we would actually think is going to happen based upon our experience is that they're going to start opening up 2 categories, and then they're going to start expanding it more and more as things go back to normal. We did actually see that in the beginning of April a little bit, where they had it on some of the categories, such as grocery, essential categories, then they turned it off. So we would expect something similar to happen here in May when they do decide to make everything go live once more. Major events, Prime Day has been delayed. Right now, they don't have an official date on it, but we've been told it's going to happen in August at this point in time. And then the category events for May have been canceled from what we've seen.
This is something we just mentioned earlier. As products do get suspended and drop out, we have this working in the background for all of our accounts and our clients so that we know to add drop ship inventory and reach out to you if your products are unavailable. Amazon won't automatically inform you, so we want to make sure that let you know that we're doing this in the background to add drop ship on things that are unavailable. As you can see in the upper right here, it shows 6 products that are unavailable and out of stock. So that helps tell us that if we can make those products available again if we add drop ship inventory. And then there's also items in the middle by adding drop ship inventory on an additional 10 products that are currently available but out of stock. There are different ways that Amazon presents on the detail page, and so we want to capture all of those numbers and be able to deliver it for our clients so that when things happen on site that make products unavailable, we can ensure to have the data in front of us and reach out to make sure that those products are available as soon as possible to take advantage of the traffic that's occurring on Amazon now. In addition, we also have we highlight the products that we could start advertising on, because on Amazon, for our clients, we want to make sure when products are in what we consider a retail-ready format, that we have those available and at our fingertips to advertise as soon as possible. And that's where we can see the 103 items that are highlighted there. Our clients will see this being rolled out. You'll probably we're changing some of the visibility of it for you, so you'll be able to have access to this in the coming weeks. Changes continue to happen with COVID-19 workplace and what we're doing at home. Amazon's going to continue to adapt with all of those things. The traffic, as it's been noted, is continuing to surge on Amazon, and we anticipate continue to stay there as lockdowns continue. However, over time, I know Dave used the word normal. What's being set as normal pre-COVID-19 demand is expected to establish a newer, higher normal, perhaps 5, 10, 15%, who knows how much higher than what was pre-COVID-19 because of the increase in not only Prime members to 118 million in the U.S., but non-Prime members as well. It's a great time to be on Amazon to make sure to capture traffic, as well as to understand what's happening in retail today. we can open it to questions and answers now.
Alan, this is Dana. Let's see, did I get unmuted?
Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Interesting, you say there's a huge increase in prime. Have they put out a number of the kind of increase in terms of prime members that they're seeing during this COVID period?
They have not. It was a report. So I believe it was, I would have to go back and check what the source is at the bottom of the page, but that was just announced at 118 million. I have not seen that come from Amazon itself. That was a third party that reported that number.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Alan, we do have a couple questions that were submitted to me. One of them being, we talked a little bit about advertising and marketing. So the question that came through was, should I be advertising, and how do I pick what products to advertise during this time?
That's a great question. With the different environment right now, it really depends on the funds that you have internally. Some of our clients have had to completely shut down and are not able to run a business, so they're not able to fill inventory. So the first item to kind of consider is, if you have funds available, that's going to drive being able to advertise. And depending on the category in which you're in, the category may be seeing high traffic and lower cost per click. In either case, right now we're seeing that if you can continue to advertise, it will help build your search rank over your competitors, as well as potentially take advantage of higher traffic that's happening on Amazon than it would have been previous. With that higher traffic in some categories, not all, there is a lower average cost of sale. So as we're doing that for our clients, increasing or reestablishing advertising or increasing advertising, we watch to make sure to advertise on products that we have high weeks of cover or can support with dropship. So one, have the funds. Two, make sure that we have the inventory to fill the orders that we drive.
Excellent. And so with drop shipping there, I guess another question would be, what products should we be drop shipping, or is there a way you would prioritize products for drop ship during this time?
Well, drop shipping, I know, can be a challenge for many clients. Some clients are just developing the capability. Some may not have the capability, and others have limited capability. So Amazon would love to see drop shipping everything that you possibly can. Why? Because that would make that product available as much as possible. However, understanding that there's some limited capability at times, it's great to prioritize based on what products are low weeks of cover, possibly also prioritize by cost of the product. If products have a high margin or a high cost that would be great to continue to drive, then those might be good ones to maintain, as well as looking at demand. If there's high demand, we would love to keep that demand so that when Amazon reestablishes a demand forecast and purchases it in stock through a purchase order, that demand is there to inform them. Everything that makes economic sense. If a product's 50 cents, it probably likely wouldn't make a lot of sense in a normal environment to ship or drop ship a single unit. However, in this type of environment, if you made a limited number of that, if it was very high volume, if you made a limited number of it available so that to maintain a demand forecast for Amazon, it might be an exception to something that we normally wouldn't drop ship.
Okay, thank you. So that looks like that is, unless we have any other questions.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When you're speaking of drop shipping, is that done only through Seller Central?
No, what we're talking about, it's also referred to as direct fulfillment on Vendor Central. it's where you're shipping. It's very similar to what you've got on Seller Central, but in Amazon's terms, it's still showing up to the consumer as shipped and sold by Amazon, but it's coming directly from you. You're just fulfilling the inventory, but Amazon's taking the order.
Okay, thank you.
So drop ship can happen either 1P or first party or third party sales. Amazon's here to 24 hours a day, making sure that we can support your business each week as this COVID-19, and until we return back to normal, we anticipate having a weekly call to give you updates on operations, analytics, marketing, and promotions, as well as the level of purchase orders specifically that we're seeing and any changes on those chargebacks, because that will have a significant impact on the bottom line. We will manage for the present and prepare for the future. So we'll continue to monitor sales, weeks of cover on products to drive your business, and share new tactics. The last item there, we are reviewing all of our clients' content and continually thinking about ways that we can improve that and update things such as back-end keywords right now in terms of the specific environment in which we're in. The product that we mentioned there, we internally call Apollo, and we will be using that in the coming weeks to make sure that we catch any product suspensions and drop ship ad opportunities that we have for your accounts. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll continue to bring you updates each week.